Hello, folks. I'm Katie.
I'm Vinny.
And we host the Learn Real Good podcast.
It's a comedy podcast about science.
It's also a science podcast with comedy.
Each episode, we interview a science grad student about their research.
And we keep it casual, so you don't need to be a nerd to follow along.
We also share some of the latest science news.
I think you mean the latest science news?
Well, people need to hear more about amphibians.
Well, I agree with that. So, look us up on your favorite podcast source and
Learn Real Good. Presented by the Podcavern Network.
Close enough.
Hi everyone, I'm Tom.
I'm Laura.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Brad.
And we are the Pixar Pals, or you might know us as
Disney Dummies.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Pixar Pals, or PicPa. The Pixar Shorties are here. It's catching on. It's catching on. It's Pixar Shorties, our limited run where we, the Disney Dummies and Pixar Pals and Pixar Shorties now are going to go through all of the theatrical Pixar shorts in chronological order. There's not too many of them, but each episode we are going to be watching 4 of them. One for each host on the podcast. Ooh.
Wow, what a coincidence.
But the last episode will not be like that. We don't have enough for that. Yeah, so we've already done our first episode. Hope you enjoyed that one. And now we're going to dive into the second wave, which I already feel like is already such a big step up from the first stuff that we've seen.
Yeah.
But let me get into the shorts that we'll be talking about today. We'll be talking about 1989's Knick Knack. We're going to be talking about 1997's Geri's Game, then For the Birds, which came out in 2000, and Boundin, which came out in 2003. So I want to go right into our nostalgia for all of these. I'll start with Laura. Do you have any nostalgia for any of these?
I have seen all of these at least once.
Oh.
I feel like I'd seen For the Birds maybe on more than one occasion.
Surprising for you.
Boundin, definitely only once. And I think Geri's Game, only once. And Knick Knack, I feel like I might have seen it a couple, like I feel like I might have watched it on YouTube or something. I don't know if it would have been up there at any point.
Okay.
Or if Disney would have ripped it down the moment it was posted. But it feels like something that felt a little more familiar than the others.
Interesting. Okay. Sam, Brad, any of these movies? I think last time you alluded that you did see all of these shorts before.
Yep. When I think of Pixar shorts, I pretty much immediately think of Geri's Game. It's weird to me that it's not the first one because I always think of it first. And I have very fond memories of For the Birds.
I'm glad.
Have you seen Knick Knack and Boundin before?
I have seen both of them before, yes.
Okay.
And I remember having fond memories for Boundin. I don't really feel like I had feelings about Knick Knack, but
Okay. Fond memories of Boundin. Maybe that's a hot take.
I feel like
I'll get into it maybe a little later.
I didn't say my thoughts aged.
This is the nostalgia section.
Yeah, exactly.
Brad, what about you?
Pretty similar to Sam. I feel like I think of Geri's Game and For the Birds are like the main 2 shorts that come to mind when I think of Pixar. So I feel like, we're getting right into the sweet spot for the Pixar short films.
Yeah, which again, it seems like it's coming up real fast.
Yeah.
But I think that is kind of similar to when we started Pixar Pals. Like it started off like pretty much good right away, where the Pixar shorts, we had to get rid of like 3 of them before getting into like the good stuff now, right? So It's kind of interesting.
But they're like here for experiments. Like that's why the shorts exist, is to experiment with like the medium and what they can push the computers to do. So it makes sense that they'd have some like quote unquote duds early on.
Sure.
But yeah, it's cool to see. And it's interesting to look at them like when looking in the broader context of what movies came after them, like full features, because often the stuff they learned they could do in the shorts would then like really influence the next movie. So I think that's pretty cool.
Knick Knack really influenced Frozen for sure a lot.
Yeah, I feel like it's often like a proving ground or like a way for them to experiment to be like, can we even do this? And they do it in a short, and then it goes on to the movie.
Low commitment. Yeah.
Splash around in the kiddie pool.
Sandbox.
Right.
Yeah, that's the metaphor.
A sandbox for John Lasseter's all of his wet dreams coming to life.
Stop.
I mean, it kind of is.
No, you ruined the sandbox.
Okay, all right. All right, well, let me spoil you, who was the director of our very first short here. Although I have to talk about my nostalgia as well. I've only seen 2 of the 4. I've definitely seen For the Birds maybe a few times. Never seen Boundin or Knick Knack. But Geri's Game, I don't even know how many times I've seen that one. Like, that was... same with Sam. Like, that to me is like quintessential Pixar short. And it came with, I mean, I might be getting ahead of myself, but like Bug's Life, because like I was at my cousin's a lot. And before, Bug's Life came on VHS, before that was Geri's Game. And so we watched the whole VHS all the time. So we always watched Geri's Game. And I mean, we'll get to it when we get to it, but I have very fond memories of
that makes a lot of sense why I feel like I've seen it so much and associate it so strongly with Pixar too, because it was the days, you're right, of VHS. I had Bug's Life on VHS and watched it a lot, so that's probably why I've seen Geri's Game.
And with VHS, you're rewinding to the back of the tape, and you're gonna watch all those commercials that they put at the back of the tape, and then the short, and then the movie, probably, instead of like fast forwarding right to the movie.
You finally get that blue screen that says feature presentation.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, oh, thank God.
All right, let's go into 1989's Knick Knack. It has a 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb. I just want to say, this is not a... Maybe I'll start doing this for all the ones that I do. I just think it's funny because, what was it? The Adventures of Wally B and Andre or whatever had like 5 out of 10. And yeah, this one is directed and basically everything by John Lasseter. So this is his baby here. And this came with Finding Nemo was the first time this short was released. And then later was The Nightmare Before Christmas, the second release of that. That was for theatrical releases, sorry. And then for home premiere, it was with Finding Nemo, which is kind of crazy because the animation of Finding Nemo is just so much more impressive than of Knick Knack. But Knick Knack was very impressive for its time when it was made.
But they were made in different years, right?
Made in different years. It was just like when they decided to release the short with which movie. So yeah, it was associated with 3 pretty big, huge movies. And even at the beginning of, I'll get right into the summary here, right at the beginning of this short, it says 6 years before Toy Story, they made this short. So pretty big deal. All right, here we go. This summary is going to be so good, everyone. We have a bunch of figurines, kind of like bobblehead style figurines that all say sunny somewhere, like sunny Egypt, sunny Palm Springs, sunny Miami. It's all sunny here. I should say they're all like toys on a desk. And there's like a pink flamingo. There's a cool skeleton with sunglasses and swim trunks. We got a dancing pyramid. Cool. And then we have a girl that's just hanging around the pool in her bikini. That's fun. And I also have to say, wee you, the music fucks in this short. I like the music a lot in this short. It's very whimsical. It's very fun. There's a little bit of a Disney Did You Know later about the music. But you thought I was going to say the bikini girl. I don't know.
No, I thought all the toys do.
I guess
except for one that we're about to meet.
You mean our friend, the lone snowman that we have in the snow globe over here? His says gnome, sweet gnome, Nome, sweet Nome.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I got a bone to pick about that. This is my hot take. What is gnome?
Gnome, sweet gnome.
Like it's not even a gnome with a G.
Yeah, I don't know. Shouldn't it be like dome, sweet dome?
Yeah, that would make more sense.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What is gnome?
Anyways,
I'm fine.
Alaska is what this snowman is associated with. And then we have our bikini girlfriend waving at the snowman, and then she signals him to come over, and he's like, hubba hubba, awooga. So he's trying to break out of his snow globe here. This is very fun. A series of just, I don't know, in improv, we call them like tag outs, but it's basically rapid fire. Like, let's try a bunch of stuff to break out of the snow globe. We have like his paper igloo that's in the snow globe with him. He tries to like slam that within the glass. And then he has like a hammer, and then he slams his carrot nose into the glass, and then it bends it. Then he has a jackhammer somehow, and that doesn't work. Then he tries welding, and then dynamite. Where'd he get dynamite? Anyways, all of it is very fast, very cartoonish. It's all hilarious. He's just kind of like, every time he tries a thing, he just gets like, I don't know, thrown on the other side of the snow globe, kind of injuring himself.
And every time before he does the little like eyebrow, like, hey, hey, hey.
Yeah.
And then he like tries whatever scheme he's doing.
Yeah, he looks at the audience being like, look what I'm about to do. And it never works. And then he has I guess a good idea. I don't know. Seems a little flawed. He tries to tip his snow globe over the desk. And as it's falling and it spins upside down, there's an emergency exit door, I guess, at the bottom of the snow globe. And he needs it to fall so it can go upside down and he can kind of just climb out of it. And then once he does that, he's out of the snow globe and he lands into a fishbowl. And the fishbowl has a mermaid friend that says Sunny Atlantis. And then his snow globe, as he's like about to, I don't know, lean in to kiss her, I guess. He's a horny snowman, I guess.
This is a John Lasseter short.
Yeah, it's true. And then the snow globe, I'm going to get to that in just a second. The snow globe falls right onto the snowman, and, you know, he ends up kissing the glass of his snow globe, and he doesn't get to kiss the mermaid. And that is the end. Before I get into the Pixar particulars here, what do we think of Knick Knack? Quick thoughts here, Laura?
It's fun.
It's fun. Sam? Brad?
It's fun. It's
Predictable.
cute.
The short in general, or
Yeah,
the character?
Just the short. I feel like the hot take can come with the character.
Yeah, I think it has its ups and downs. I feel like I was kind of like for quite a bit of it, but I do like the gag of the snow globe floating back down on him to like trap him again. There's a few good gags in this short for sure.
I enjoyed it. I think it's a lot more fun than
I liked the
pretty much
supporting
all
cast.
of the ones that we watched before.
Unicycle one.
The Red's Dream, that baby one, Andre. It's better than that. I think it's better than all the other ones that we've seen so far.
I agree. It's definitely, it has a tighter feeling to it.
Yeah.
Overall, from story, design, animation, like everything feels a little more like
I
tight.
liked the like 60s aesthetic. Because I mean they couldn't do much for BGs anyway, but it's like wallpaper, but it looks very like Bewitched or like I Dream a Dream. Like it feels very like 60s shapes and like Mary Blair-esque, and like I like the choice. Even the like title card when it says Knick Knack, if you look at the shapes and the font and stuff, it feels very of that time, which I like.
And Sam, when you say BJs, you do not mean the band. Is that correct?
BGs.
I said what?
Can we take that again?
Yeah.
BJ's the band.
Fuck.
It's too late.
Too much
It's
Knick
too
Knack.
late.
Sam, when you said BGs.
Backgrounds.
No.
At work, I'm going to start calling them BJs, and everyone's going to be like, what's she talking about?
I'm
It all
horrified.
started with this horny snowman that John Lasseter created. Yeah, I like this one a lot. Like it's very simple concept, and all of the things that is happening is just a bunch of gags and heightening of how to get out of the snow globe. And I think it ends pretty well. Here are some Pixar particulars with this. Whenever John Lasseter and Nancy Lasseter go anywhere on vacation, she always makes a point of buying a snow globe from that particular place. That's where this idea came from.
How's Nancy doing now?
I don't know. Bobby McFerrin, who recorded the soundtrack to this, you might have noticed, and maybe you didn't, I read this ahead of time, but in the credits, which are very quick, you're going to hear a bunch of blah, 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 blah that's kind of ad-libbed by him. And that's because he didn't know what to put in that part of it, so he just left blah blah blahs as like filler words. But John Lasseter enjoyed it so much that it just ended up making the cut. Didn't have to change the words.
Nice.
It's fun. Let's see. This film was completely rebuilt and re-rendered for release in theaters for Finding Nemo, and I'll just paraphrase some of this. So in this version, and I'm pretty sure the version that we watched on Disney Plus, the girl on the Miami, like that girl, the beginning one, she had a breast reduction. Same with the mermaid at the end.
God.
They both had breast reductions because apparently The ladies in this short film had giant knockers, I guess.
Oh,
So,
God. John Lasseter.
now the mermaid is wearing a seashell bra rather than just starfish pasties. And that's all I got for Pixar particulars, but I thought that was kind of funny. And
I found an image.
You found it? Are they giant knockers?
They are giant knockers.
I have to look this up afterwards. Oh, gosh. And we'll go into a 5-star, 1-star. I don't really have 1 stars for this. It's also one of those shorts that only have 5 stars. So here's 3 that are really quick. Elton Palucci, didn't even watch it, and I know it's good. 5 stars. Next one. Ronan Sublet. Their mermaid was really hot, and I came on my shoes.
No.
5 stars. I'm going to say right now that there was only 5 reviews when I looked. And that was one of them. Here's the other one. Joanne.
And only 5 stars?
And only 5 stars. Joanne Dwyer. I definitely love this short. A snowman wanting to join the warm environment with a girl who is looking good. And she was a bit different in the 2003 version than in 1989 when her breasts were larger back then, which I thought was better. Still, this short is humorously hilarious. That's it. 5 stars. So that's 2 out of the 3 reviews who are talking about the mermaid's breasts.
I mean, I also found a photo, and together they're the size of her head.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, they're huge.
The old version, Wii U, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our next Pixar short. We have Geri's Game. Passing off to Laura.
Wait, I had a hot take.
takes?
Oh, hot take. Yes, hot take. What do we got?
Well, I mean, you already alluded to Olaf, but I had that this guy's just a hornier Olaf.
100%.
And then also, I feel like he's also the evil twin of the tin soldier guy that we saw last week. The little tin man.
Oh,
They
that
look,
guy.
their faces are kind of the
Interesting.
same.
They both emote a lot. The snowman emotes a
Yeah,
lot.
and they have little circle heads with little beady eyes. So
Nice. Brad, you had one too, right? And you had a little hot take you wanted to say for this one?
Just that Knick Knack as a character, not great.
Okay. Yeah.
Wasn't on board with his whole jam. I would not hang out with that guy.
No, he doesn't seem like a
Yeah.
cool hang. Even though he's like a loner, you'd expect him to be a little bit more, I don't know, reserved. But he comes on a little strong. Maybe that's why, people don't hang out with him very often.
Yeah.
Is his name Knick Knack? Have we established that? What does that mean?
They're all
I don't know.
knickknacks.
Yeah, I don't think that's his name. I just
Oh, like
It's a good name for him.
knickknacks are just
Little things you
all
collect.
the things, all
Yeah.
the globes and all the things. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Laura.
Yes. My hot take is that I didn't think that any of these shorts could depress me more than Red's Dream, but this discussion definitely has.
Oh, okay.
wow.
What a bummer.
I mean,
What a
is it because you brought up BJ's?
well, partially that, more so the boob stuff and
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well, here
they
we
changed it. They changed
Yeah.
it. They changed it for the better.
Yeah.
guys,
Who can say?
Gnome Sweet Gnome is an Alaska thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry for my
Gnome is
ignorance,
in Alaska.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a place in Alaska?
Yeah.
I feel slightly
Oh,
better.
Okay. I think it should have still been Dome, Sweet Dome. But
Marge also
Gnome,
knitted
Alaska.
Gnome Sweet Gnome in the Simpsons movie when they moved there.
Oh.
They moved to
well,
Alaska?
Simpsons did.
Oh, I
In the
haven't
movie.
seen the Simpsons movie. I
Okay.
know.
That's crazy. All right.
Okay, we'll stay focused.
Okay, yeah.
All right, next short.
Jerry's Game. Shall I dive in
Wee-oo, wee-oo.
to our... Sorry. All right. There it is. We've got a Wii U, and I assume that's for
First
Jerry.
Wii U.
Glasses Jerry or no glasses Jerry?
All of it.
All of it.
All
Okay.
Jerry's fucking this.
All Jerry's
Yeah.
fuck. I won't argue with that. Okay, so this film opens on a chessboard being laid down, and we see hands placing little chess pieces on that board, and then we see the man who is placing them. This man takes a seat, he puts on his glasses, and he makes his first move. Then he takes off his glasses, ambles over to the other side of the table, and makes a triumphant counter move. Goes back to chair 1, puts glasses on, back to chair 2, and we watch as Glasses Jerry and No Glasses Jerry battle it out, with No Glasses Jerry laughing more and more villainously as he takes Glasses Jerry's pieces as we go. As those pieces are disappearing, Glasses Jerry is hit with only one, what are those called? Not a pawn, because that's a specific one. One piece left.
I think he only has his king left. Yeah.
His king, that would make sense. Yeah. And he makes his final move and then realizes he can't do that, tries again, can't do that. And No Glasses Geri is just laughing smugly until suddenly Glasses Geri has a heart attack. Or does he? No Glasses Geri quite comedically checks his own pulse to make sure that he's not having a heart attack, in a brief recognition that they are in fact the same person. And as he's doing so, Glasses Geri spins the board around, eventually climbs back up to his chair, makes his move, and a very confused No Glasses Geri is forced to admit his defeat and to hand over the prize for winning the chess match, which is Geri's dentures. That is Geri's game.
Standing ovation.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff.
What a good, simple short.
Notably not directed by John Lasseter. It was Jan. I can't remember his
Definitely
last
not
name.
horny enough.
Yeah. Jan something directed this one.
Jan Pinkava. I actually think the rest of the shorts are not John Lasseter.
Excellent. Love that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Because then we just got to see John Lasseter do whatever he wanted on the featured length releases. But anyways, a few Pixar particulars. This one was released with Bug's Life, and it won the Oscar for Best Animated Picture. Some things you may notice: when Geri first puts the box of chess pieces down, the old Pixar logo can be seen. The chess box reads Point Richmond Pixar Shorts, and that's because Pixar's old headquarters was originally located in Point Richmond. This was the first Pixar production to have a human main character. And lastly, did anyone recognize Geri? Recognize Geri?
Is he the dude from Toy Story 2?
He
the
sure
one that
is.
Fixes?
Yep, he is the
Woody?
cleaner. Yeah. And I guess, I remember this now. When he opens one of the drawers in his doll fixing case, the chess pieces kind of rattle around in it in reference to the short.
I remember seeing him in that movie, and his model is so much better in the Toy Story 2 than this.
Sure.
It was pretty cool how they updated him.
I want to go back and see that scene in Toy Story 2 again.
He looks good. Geri's looking good. He's been lifting. Yeah. Did you say this won Best Animated Short? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you said film. So
short film.
Cool.
Imagine. I don't think. I think animated feature came the first year. It was awarded to either Shrek or Shrek 2. I can't remember. Mm-hmm. So it was a little while later.
Cool.
Let's do some 5-star, 1-star, aka 2 5-star reviews, one of which I thought was a 5-star review and the other one which I will give 1 star. 5 stars from Will Edwards. This film was very intellectually and an absolute amazing piece of cinema. I could watch this all day, every day, for as long as I live. Geri is a great person and noble human being. He is my idol and I look up to him. Hashtag Geri saves the world. Hashtag Geri for president. Hashtag I love you, Geri.
Okay. Wow.
Here's a review from Cameron Hicks that I give 1 star. I felt sad for the White's King. Well, its animation was made in 1997. Oh, well, it was great. I like how different they formed. What? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Anyways, those are a couple of reviews.
And just to be clear, everyone liked Geri's game?
Everyone liked Geri's game, right?
Oh, yeah.
Laura, did you like it?
Yeah, I enjoyed Geri's game. I thought Geri was a real character. And I'll tell you what, for a movie that only features one character, it's amazing that it has both a villain and a hero, because we were all rooting against No Glasses Geri. He was being a real jerk at some points.
There's just something really incredibly playful about it. You see it from, an old person as the main character, and then he's just he's doing kid shit, right? He's just using his imagination to play against himself. And I don't know, just him spinning the board is such a child solution to something, especially because they're different colors. Mm-hmm.
But smug Geri couldn't figure out what had happened.
It doesn't even matter because it's just all fun. Yeah,
I really like this one. I think this one, and I don't think I brought it up last time with Luxo Jr., but the 2 ideas for that short and this short, I just really like how simple they are. Mm-hmm. And I wish I could have thought of something like this for my 4th year film at school, which was way overcomplicated. But to think of something so simple that's really one character, one layout, and then just cutting back and forth, It really showcases the animation and the story versus like getting bogged down in, well, Red's one, whatever that one was. That one was like also just a black screen. But what was the one that I did last week? The Tintoy. That was like more complex. There was like tons of different locations. He's under the couch. He's this, he's that. So I think Luxo Jr. and this one, what I find most impressive is just how simple the idea is and the staging of it. And it's just like one location, one character, back and forth.
I
Super
agree.
easy.
Yeah, a lot better
Lots
than
of
what you
charm.
will be talking about, Brad. Oh, I got to save it. I got to save my thoughts on the one you're talking about. Sam, what do you have? You're talking about For the Birds.
Oh, I didn't do my hot take. My hot take is that I want to do an episode where we watch Brad's fourth year project.
Oh, okay.
And
then talk about it?
Brad's Bitches.
Brad's Bitches. And welcome to Brad's Bitches. I can see it. All
Okay,
right.
I'm done.
Go.
You can make it work. Yeah, I'm doing For the Birds, and I feel like coming off of what Brad just said about the simplicity, I feel like this is also a rather simple idea with like one backdrop and like they're, it's like a very, very quick passage of time, but it works and it's fun. So For the Birds was 2000, the year 2000. The year 2000. It aired before Monsters Inc., which is maybe why I think of it too, because I think by Monsters Inc. I had DVDs, but I really like this one, so I think I just watched it a lot. It has an 8 on IMDb.
Ooh.
And yeah, so this is a simple idea, a little short, squeaky, very circular, round little chubby bird lays on a telephone wire in like a desert. I also want to say it opens with even the title card coming up feels very Pixar in this one. Like, I think this one feels very quintessentially Pixar to me too, because of the music, the lack of words, and just the way the text goes in front of a white cloud, which feels very Toy Story-esque anytime there's like white clouds in Pixar or whatever. So anyways, the bird, little bird lands on a wire. And then as birds on a wire do, some other birds join in. They're all kind of like fighting for space on this wire. And they're like, me, 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 me. And they're very Minion-esque, I would almost call them. That was a hot take that like
Interesting.
Minions stole their bit. But they're all just kind of like, me, 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 and like, and then they notice a bigger bird comes and he kind of flies over towards the pole more, like not on the wire with them. And he's like all derpy and he like waves over. He's like big gangly bird. He's like very tall with like little big feathers. And he kind of gives them a happy wave. He's just a happy guy. And he waves at them and they all like look at him and they start laughing. They're bullying. They're being jerks. They're like poofing up their feathers to look like him and like bursting out laughing and just being trolls, I would say, generally.
Yeah.
But you know what? Our big bird does not care. He dopily flies over and lands between them all, like laughing like he fits right in. And they're like, what? Like, meh. And so they like hit him or something. And he goes from being on top of the wire to flipping upside down on the wire and hanging on by his toes. And he's in the middle of all these birds. I think that's another thing I like about this shot is like the composition works really well in all of it because there's like all these little ones and then there's one big bird and they're always like around him. And so it's just like visually, I feel like a really cool looking little short. And so they all start like going I really love this animation too when the birds start just going ham on his toes and they're just like they're just like power pecking at his toes to make him fall off the wire. And they keep doing this and we keep kind of seeing the wire gradually sink further and further down as they're like pecking against his fingers and he's letting the one finger at a time go until one of the birds on the outskirts when the birds all start chanting, they're like, me, me, me. And I don't know. Yeah. And then one of the birds on the outside kind of notices that they've got pretty low to the ground and he starts trying to alert the other birds because I feel like they understand that gravity will set in if he is released. The string will fly up with them. And so I feel like they only notice that like a few beats before the audience really like
he has like one more talon on the thing before they notice. Yeah. So he's like almost down. They notice. They can't stop them. He lets go of the string. And then it's just like a really fun cartoony timing, like the birds get shot up. They're gone like in a frame or two. He's on the ground.
And then all their feathers start falling and they start falling to the ground and they're all naked because they lost all their feathers up in the air. And then he starts laughing at them and ha ha ha, they're naked now.
Yeah, he didn't take the high
And
ground
that's
at
the
the
end.
end. He's just like, no,
No.
it's my turn to laugh at you.
Now you guys look ridiculous. And yeah, so what I found here for particulars or anime angle, whatever you want to call it, but the thing they were kind of testing out working in this film was continuously moving backgrounds. I think it's panning at the beginning when they are like driving up to the pole or whatever, and then also just feather animation. It's like
There's a
all
lot.
the things we've seen. Yeah, there's a lot of feathers, so like there is a lot more, which makes sense now that this became like, again, this came before Monsters Inc., where we're getting a lot of fur. Like Monsters Inc. fur was the big thing, so this was them trying out that kind of stuff. I don't know if there's any like merit to this at all, but I kind of laughed because on IMDb, one of the trivia facts at the end was like released theatrically in front of Luca, and I was like, what? Like,
Really?
it's either wrong or maybe it got re-released, but I was just like,
Unfortunately, no
shows
one
how,
saw
like,
Luca in theaters.
how solid these facts are. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, I guess it says here. I copy pasted the Wikipedia. It says Luca's second release, which I guess it's first release in theaters.
Also, I read that there's some Easter eggs for the birds in Cars. Apparently, when he's driving along the highway, there's like some telephone wire poles at some point in that movie that he drives by that have a bunch of little birds on it. So it's kind of an homage. And also in Inside Out, which, I mean, I feel like everything probably is an Easter egg in Inside Out because there's all those memory balls. So they probably put a bit of literally everything in there, but somewhere in there is for the birds. And that'll take me to 5-star, 1-star.
5-star, 1-star.
There are no 1-stars.
Whoa.
Because For the
It's
Birds
the
is
same
amazing.
for all of them.
And the 5-star is, I love it. It's funny. Plus it teaches that you should be kind or there will be consequences. But I feel bad for the big bird. Sad face emoji. He was just trying to make friends, and he didn't know the small birds were making fun of him. The small birds deserve to become naked. But I'm happy the big bird helped them even at the end. He's so nice. Big smiley face. That's
Aw.
Did the big bird help them at the
I don't know
end?
if he did. I feel like he
I
made
don't think
fun
he
of them.
did.
and
I guess
they
he
laughed
stood in
at
front
them.
of them.
Yeah.
While
He was just having a good time.
Yeah.
Just having a good time. Yeah, and that is for the birds. Any hot takes?
Well, first of all, wee you. I think that bird fucks. The main dopey bird.
I think that bird was.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you think,
the bird
Sam? You
fucks.
think so?
Yeah,
He has
I
that
would
energy?
agree.
I think that bird was the basis for Kevin.
I think so.
I
Yeah.
can see that.
Lots of similarities.
Yeah.
Here's my hot take. I think 2009, there was a video game that came out. It rocked the world of mobile gaming. That game was called Angry Birds. This came out way before Angry Birds, and now I'm just like, holy shit, those little birds, they look
True.
like Angry Birds birds.
Interesting.
And also, the whole thing in this entire short is that this telephone wire is going to slingshot these birds. And what do you do in Angry Birds? Case closed. Hot take.
Wow.
They
Yeah,
stole this.
I definitely
idea.
thought about it watching as well.
Right? They look almost entirely the same, except these ones are
Yeah.
like blue.
Yeah, instead of red. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
My
agree.
my hot take is that those asshole birds got what was coming to them.
Oh,
Wow, that would be your hot take.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's hot. They did get what's coming to them.
Yeah.
Okay, and I assume everyone enjoyed that one too. Just to, just to.
I love
Yeah.
that one.
I
I'll
liked it.
watch that one again
It
and again.
might be my favorite.
Oh,
Pixar short.
wow!
Yeah.
There's some really good ones later, but we'll get to it.
I know.
I'm
I just really like this one.
curious, Laura.
Yes.
You made it a point when we were assigning shorts to not do the bird one.
Sam offered.
Yeah, I know, but as soon as Sam offered because she knows you don't like birds.
Yeah.
Now that you've seen it, do you think you would have been okay with summarizing it, or is there anything in here that freaked you out?
It didn't really freak me out because they didn't look like real birds. I didn't like. Did I briefly imagine the big bird in real life? Yes. And would I want anything to do with it? Absolutely not. But they were cartoony enough that I was fine, but still appreciated the offer from Sam.
I also offered selfishly because I just love this show.
Ew.
Yeah, I was disappointed you got this one.
It's okay, Brad, because you got a banger, I guess. You'll tell us about Boundin now.
Yeah, Boundin. Yeah, Bounding was a short in 2003 is the date I found, but it released ahead of Incredibles in 2004. So I'm guessing maybe it was on like the festival circuits and then they released it with the Incredibles. But it came before that movie. I guess I'll jump into the summary and then we'll get to the other stuff about it. So Boundin starts, and it's Boundin, not Bounding. It's got the little
Thank you for clarifying.
apostrophe at the end. Yeah, just so you're aware. It starts with, I don't know what this bird is, but there's like this plant or like this flower, kind of like a deserty looking flower in a way. And this bird's waving back and forth on it. It's got very Disney vibes to me, old Disney in this first shot, like the design of the bird and the writing of how Boundin is written. I don't know, I just got Disney vibes from that. Music starts, very evident right away that this is a musical short from beginning to end. The music starts talking about this lamb as we come in on this like rock. It's this interesting rock formation with like a river that flows through it. We're out in like Montana, I believe. So just kind of out there. There's a lamb there. He's got amazing wool. It's shining and glistening in the sun. He's super proud of it and so happy, in fact, that he likes to dance and do a little jig. All the other animals around him, there's like, what are they? Not gophers, but they're gopher-esque, I guess. There's a snake. There's an owl. They all like it so much as well that they join in the fun. All the characters are having fun. While you're listening to me, just imagine me singing and talking this as well. So
in rhyme.
It is a musical, I guess, right?
Yeah. And the guys, like, they're literally narrating more or less what I'm saying in words. That's the song. It's like a spoken song in a way. So then this lamb is just living his best life. But one day this car shows up and the lamb is grabbed to off screen and his fur or wool is sheared and he's thrown back into the shot buck naked, just no fur whatsoever or wool whatsoever. Thunderstorm begins, music gets really sad. The lamb is super sad. He's embarrassed. All the other animals start like cackling and laughing and being like, hey, he's all naked and stuff.
2 bullying shorts in a row.
I know, and 2 naked things in a row. Birds got naked in the last one.
Yeah.
So things are really sad right now. It's like thunderstorming and dark. Camera pans over slowly, and we get this like not a bass drum, but it's kind of just like doosh, 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 like cymbal as this jackalope comes up over the hill. This beam of light is shining down on the ground around him. The jackalope is jumping by and stops because he notices the sad lamb, and he asks the lamb why he's so sad. The lamb explains why he's sad, which is because he used to be something and look amazing and dance to show off, but then he got sheared and all his friends now laugh at him because he's ridiculous and pink. The jackalope is clearly not impressed by this, even shoots all the friends like a stink eye, like he little shits and they all cower away. So he's not happy about that. And the jackalope says, Pink, what's wrong with pink? Seems like you've got a pink kink in your think. Doesn't matter what color. Well, that gets a note.
In addition to your
Be it pink,
stink.
purple, or heliotrope.
He does say that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You got a pink king in your think.
Oh, God.
I love that. I love that. That's like one of the few things that stuck out.
It's
in
true.
my mind from
That
the
is a
short
good rhyme. Yeah.
Pink, what's wrong with pink? Seems like you've got a pink kink in your think.
God damn it.
So basically this jackalope tells him he might not have fur anymore, but he's still got a body. He's got good legs with some feet that can move. He can still dance. He can do all the things he used to. So yeah, he can still live his life. He doesn't need to be sad about all these things that have just happened. So the jackalope grabs him and like or tells him about bounding, which is like just jumping up in the air, coming back down. So he grabs the lamb, basically like throws his foot on the ground.
Aggressively does.
Aggressively.
Doesn't even ask permission. Just like grabs the leg and just throws this fucker on the ground.
Yeah, and the lamb's like super lanky, which is also fun. But yeah, so the jackalope basically like forces him to get up and shows him how to bound. So the lamb starts bounding, or aka jumping, around the rock that was like the centerpiece of this whole thing. We get this like really nice carousel shot as the lamb bounces around, the camera tracks, and we spin around the rock, and all the other animals are jumping up and down. The music starts swelling. We transition through all the seasons, and he grows his fur back as he's bounding. And it ends by saying that every year he grows his wool back, and the farmer shows up, shears him, puts him back there, but he doesn't get down anymore. He just keeps on bounding. And then the jackalope.
But not Irish dancing anymore.
Yeah, that's not bounding. You got to bound.
Boundin is literally just throwing yourself on the ground and hoping you bounce.
Bounding is life. Bounding is life.
So yeah, that's pretty much how the short ends. Jackalope goes on his merry way, bounding, spreading the good word of bounding. And that's the end of the short.
Never made it up here to Canada, did it? The good word of bounding.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
We had was it log rolling or whatever?
Log rolling?
Burling down and down like what?
Sam knows.
What
Yeah.
is that? Log
The
rolling?
log driver's waltz. Where you
What are you talking? What?
Yeah, no, you're
I don't know
speaking
this.
a different
Oh, wow.
language now.
I don't know. You have to explain it. You
Whoa.
have to explain it. You brought it up.
That's gonna have to be a short or a short in of itself. We'll have
Sounds
to
like
come
it
back
should have
to
come
that.
up in the Johnny Appleseed one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Sam,
Oh,
give me
yeah.
your 3-sentence explanation of what you just said.
The log rollers.
Log
waltz?
rolling?
there is a group of people that would dance on the logs in the river to get them where they need to be.
Is this a
They were
Latvian
called
thing?
log
Sam?
drivers. No, it was
Is
in
it
Canada. It's a
Midsummer?
very
Yeah.
Canadian
It's a
thing.
very Canadian thing.
How
I can
about that?
picture it now
Oh, yeah.
of what it looks like, but I didn't know it was
It's like on the Ottawa River or whatever.
Wow.
Like St. Lawrence.
Like the people whose jobs used to be
Yeah,
and
they would
die
dance
a
on the
lot,
logs
right?
and they would,
It's
probably
dangerous.
the cartoon short doesn't talk about how
Yeah.
dangerous and the
There is
death
a cartoon short about this. That
Oh,
you can add
okay.
to
that I
the
watched a
list.
million times.
Yeah.
Let's add that to do after Brad's bitches.
Log rolling. I don't know. I don't know what that.
Log drivers waltz.
Log driver's waltz.
Log drivers.
Log driver
waltz.
dummies.
Yeah. Anyways, Boundin.
But we're talking about Boundin today.
Yeah.
So Boundin, I guess, basically is about getting back up when you fall down, keeping your spirits up.
Like
looking around.
rebound, which they do
Yeah,
say,
rebound.
which I don't feel like they need to say in the short, but
Tell
they
you
say
what,
it
it went right
twice.
over my head.
So Bud Lucky wrote, directed, did the music, the composition, the performance, the vocals. He's like one-man show with this short, basically did everything. As I said, the location is vaguely Montana, which is where Bud Lucky grew up. And so he wanted to use that as his inspiration. These are in no particular order, so I might be mixing in some Pixar particulars with other info, but the Model T Ford that backs up, that goes to shear him, that model is from the upcoming movie Cars. Stole that model.
Interesting.
Used it there. The man that grabs the
Lamb?
I don't think there's
The
a
leg?
name for him, but grabs the lamb. That man is the dentist from Finding Nemo.
How?
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 We only see
Like
a
how-
hand.
I think it's the model.
So-
it's
The mo-
not.
his-
It's
the
not like
hand model?
supposed to actually be the
Yeah,
character.
I
was
They
gonna
just use
say,
the model.
Don't
Gotcha.
tell me that dentists make enough money to spend their summers in Montana.
That just means there's like a
Australian
Finding
dentists.
Nemo Boundin crossover here. So you're saying the Finding Nemo fish can bound because it's in the same universe. They just don't know how. So you're also saying that the fish in the dentist tank could have bounded out the window and into the ocean.
No,
I mean,
Wow.
did they not?
I reject that logic.
They bounded.
Sam was with me. Sam was with me.
Yeah,
Bounding
really
is a state of mind.
Yeah, it's true. You need a jackalope to unlock the bounding skill.
Hot take, what's a jackalope?
Okay, I think maybe
No,
that's
you go,
why I
Sam.
liked this short. Because I feel like I just had a weird fascination with jackalopes as a kid, and I thought in my head I'd like made them up, which TBD. But like when I saw this short, I was like, "Whoa, a jackalope!" And I was really excited about it.
Like
They're not real though.
Oh, they're not?
No,
Oh.
it's like
Hey,
a
did you-
mythical creature. What is it? A mix between a
Jackrabbit? and an
jackrabbit and an antelope?
yeah,
It's
something
got
like that.
it's got antlers
Something like
and
that.
it's like a rabbit,
antelope?
but
Makes sense.
Doesn't she
there
What
was
do
freak
they
them?
this
teach you about
video-
bounding?
Doesn't Chief
As a
Wiggum do
kid.
a thing with jackalopes and like he's like,
Yes.
that's
Oh,
what it
yeah.
is. Yeah, with that
He does.
Yeah, I forget what he says about it, but it's fun.
Yeah,
Anyways.
and on KidPix, which was a computer program back in the
KidPix.
day.
Holy shit.
KidPix.
Sam, you're just throwing all these things
I
from
know,
back in the day. Oh my god.
All these shorts are bringing the memories
They're
back
bringing
for her.
back a lot. Talk about nostalgia. But on KidPix, there was this weird, like, I feel like I had like some KidPix Deluxe studio, and there was this weird other like program in it or something. I don't even know what it was. It was like stickers, but they were movies and videos. But for some reason, there was a video about a jackalope, but it was made like a documentary. So as a kid, it felt very real. And they talk about the like it's probably like a mockumentary, but I didn't get that. So I thought it was a real
Wow.
thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have more stuff.
Please.
Even though Sam took us on that fun tangent.
Sorry. It was fun jackalopes.
I'm
you
just thinking
guys.
about KidPix and the dynamite tool in KidPix now.
Yeah.
So good. Anyways, continue.
So I read about how Bud Lucky, he's old school, like the old school when it comes to animation. He animated some Sesame cartoon, directed and animated some of the old Sesame Street stuff. He started his own animation studio and then got like bought out by, can't remember. I wrote it down, but somewhere. But anyway, he's like OG animation, very 2D, like hand drawn. So I was reading about how he really liked 3D because of all the control over the different elements like rain and wind and how you can kind of dial it up, dial it down. He also liked all the lighting you could do in there. And he said he just found it all that you could make things look more magical because of the control over all of these elements and like the fine details of them versus like 2D drawing where you get designs and kind of is what it is because it takes too long to redo. In the big carousel shot that I talked about near the end where the lamb is dancing around, each animator took 2 bounds in that one big scene. So every animator got 1 jump and they could do what they wanted in that, which I thought was kind of fun. Mr. Bud Lucky, you have heard his voice before in some Pixar movies. For one thing, he is the voice of Rick Dicker, the superhero relocator in The Incredibles.
Incredibles, yeah.
He also voiced that sad clown in the Toy Story. What was it? You know what I mean? I can't remember the clown's name.
Toy
I think
Story 3? No.
Yeah.
Where they were in the daycare
What?
nursery?
No.
Was it?
I had Chuckles the clown. There we go.
Chuckles.
I
That's
had
a
it written
3.
down. Toy
That's a
Story
3.
3.
Yeah.
So he voiced Chuckles as well.
I thought you meant the clown from Red's Dream.
That
God,
clown didn't
no.
have much to say.
Yeah.
Bud came over to Pixar in '92 and at the time was very much the oldest employee. He was their 5th animator hired. He did animation for them. He did a ton of character designs. He worked on Bug's Life for that. Toy Story 2, Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo, Cars, Ratatouille, WALL-E, Up, Toy Story 3.
The
He
classics.
did designs for all that. He was animating. He's like, that's what I was saying. He's pretty OG. And the reason why I bring all this up is because some of the stuff I was reading was best to think about this short not as a Pixar short, but as a Bud Lucky short, because the people at Pixar, aka John Lasseter, respected him so much because he was such like an OG that they basically gave him free rein to make a short with the studio and like use all their resources to get that done. So that's kind of sweet and nice.
All right.
And
I like it slightly more now because of that. Slightly
more, yeah. When you think of it as like this old guy's love letter to animation in a way. And yeah, last thing is that this was the first Pixar short that has a theatrical release that includes a vocal performance with words. Because everything before this is like there's like people making
Sounds,
noises and
yeah.
stuff, but they're not actual words, whereas this one actually has full-on words. Yeah, so I don't know, dude. I feel like everybody's kind of said what I have some 5-star, 1-star stuff, but did we want to get into
You
what
can go
people thought
5-star, 1-star. I have a few hot takes,
first?
but yeah.
Okay. So I get this one's got a 1-star. I didn't say it's got 6.8 on IMDb.
Huh.
This one did have 1 stars. I don't understand how you guys aren't finding 1 stars. You got to go to seedier places.
Oh, I'm just going on Google reviews.
Yeah, that's all I'm doing.
Reviews.
Yeah. If they don't have it, I give up.
Well, this had surprisingly 1 stars. Maybe it was Tongue's review. We'll see.
Is it surprisingly? I feel like
Maybe it was Sam's
sorry,
review then. We'll
sorry,
see.
Buck or whatever.
I'll start with 5 star. Bud Lucky. So I'll start with 5 star. This one's from Jacob Berry. Kind of paraphrased it a little bit. It was a little lengthy. When I was little and got either sad or just bored, my dad would pull out his phone and put this short on for me, and I loved it every single time. Now I'm 16 and I recently watched it again with my family a few months ago on Disney Plus, and the nostalgia hit me so hard. I love the theme of this, and it's so inspiring. When I'm older and get married and have kids, when they get sad, I'll play this short for them too. Thought that was nice.
That's very sweet.
It's pretty nice. Even though
I
I would
have a
pick, there's so many better shorts to show.
It's nice. It's like, I don't know. It's,
It's
well, I guess
bound
we'll
in,
get
I
to it.
guess.
Bullying is too sad. I was gonna, when we watched it this time, I was like, this is upsetting me. I'm upset.
I have one more short 5 star from Dev Nair. So 5 stars. This is terrible. No morals, and all the animals are unrealistic. 5 stars.
No morals?
Yeah.
What morals do you live by, Bad?
I feel like Dev Nair
Dev Nair.
doesn't understand the what is good versus bad in the rankings of
Yeah.
1 to 5 stars.
Doesn't understand the 5-star system.
Yeah, we got the 1 star now from Max Taco.
Nice.
This made me not like my mom's house, and the animation looks weird. Their teeth are big, and I can't understand what the sheep is saying, and I will never watch it again.
Wow.
I want
1
to
star.
dig a little deeper with, was it Max? Max Taco?
Max, yeah.
I want to dig a little deeper into
The first little part,
The first
this
little
made me
part
not
there.
like my mom's house. Wow.
Yeah. What's,
Weird.
I'm curious.
I don't think that's the shorts problem. I think you got issues, buddy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. I didn't love this short. First time I saw it, I didn't mind it this time. I thought it was kind of cute, kind of catchy. Yeah.
I'll go right into mine. I saw this for the first time, I don't know, earlier today. And I watched all these shorts again today as well. So first time watching these shorts was today, and then another time today. Just to make sure, because I feel like I kind of zoned out of Boundin. All these shorts are like 3 minutes long, except Boundin is the longest one. It's like 6 minutes long. And it feels
Getting
like
all the long ones.
It feels like a 12-minute short, I will say.
Whoa.
And it's not that long of a short, but I don't know what it is about it, but it just reminds me, and maybe I'm going to hot takes right now, but it reminds me of Home on the Range, maybe because of that, like, I don't know, it has that like feeling to it, and I didn't like that movie to begin with, but I feel like it's just tangentially related. I think like Pixar shorts are best when there is no talking, like everything is just visual language and they show don't tell type of thing. And that's what all the stuff beforehand has been doing. And in this one, the jackalope literally tells you everything that's happening.
Yeah.
And I don't know, some of the magic is not left to interpretation. It's just kind of like, oh, this is just what it is. And like, I didn't really like the character designs and stuff. I mean, they're kind of fun, but I don't know. All of it kind of just did not work for me. And I kept looking at my watch, and it's not that long of a short. Like,
yeah, it's
all
like
over.
not even like 4 and it's like 4 minutes 38 seconds. or
Yeah,
something.
and then the rest are credits. So
Yeah.
anyways, that's on me, I guess. But I just couldn't get into it. Laura, what do you think?
I'll tell you what did work for me, that rhyming scheme. I love a predictable rhyming scheme and meter.
Kink.
You've got a pink kink in your thing? Yeah.
Even that's a little adventurous for me. When I was a kid, I would write poem after poem of just, those 10-syllable lines, A, B, A, B, B, A, B, B, all the way down the page. And that's exactly what this was. So thank you, Bud Lucky. You really brought me back to my hippopotamus poem.
Sam, what do you think?
I used to like this one a lot, and I don't know. Again, I feel like it must have been the jackalope and the fact that there was a song, but now it doesn't hold up the same as my memory. Unfortunately, I did think I was like, oh, he doesn't. I don't know why I was so annoyed this time that he doesn't dance again. Because at the beginning he's dancing and then he switches to Boundin, and I was like, what? You didn't get the confidence to dance again? Yeah, his dancing animation, he was so good. I was like, you didn't get to do that again? And like I said, it made me sad when he got bullied, and I was like, aw. And then this jackalope just shows up and is like, have you tried bouncing around? That'll fix all your problems. And I was just like, man, I don't know. I thought I don't. It's fine. Whatever.
It's funny though to me that you've all described it as a song, because in my head it's not a song. It's a poem. And he's just reading his poem.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I guess if you want to get into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, isn't there a little bit of singing in this? Like, definitely there's some spoken word.
It's kind of musical. It's definitely to it.
Even the short description to this short says a musical something something. They use the word musical.
I feel like it's like one of those almost like jokey songs. Like I could see a comedian playing this on stage kind of thing. Like, I don't know, it's got that vibe to it.
Has Home on the Range musical vibes. Ugh. So
I thought it was better than Home on the Range.
Yeah, because it was shorter.
You thought it was better? Or you thought this was better?
Yeah, I thought this was better.
Yeah,
because it gets it over with.
Yeah.
Imagine this for 90 minutes.
Oh gosh, I could not.
But a lot of cows instead.
I guess
so much Boundin.
Before we wrap up, so much Boundin. Hot take: is there too much Boundin in this world? Can we have too much Boundin? Let's have hot takes. If anyone has any leftovers, Laura.
A hot take. I love a poem.
Good hot take.
Yeah.
I mean, I like a poem too. I think poems are coming back. That's my hot take.
I was just gonna say that I feel like Sam Elliott would be this jackalope.
Oh yes, Samantha. You are so correct.
Wasn't Sam Elliott the dinosaur in Good Dinosaur?
He was.
Like the T-Rex one?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. So yeah, he could be.
Sam Elliott's voice. I'm shivering.
My hot take is, why does this lamb look like Dobby the house elf from Harry Potter? He does. He does. When he's naked, he looks like a Dobby.
It's true. He does.
And begs the question, does Dobby bound? Why isn't Dobby bounded in Harry Potter?
Because Master has not given Dobby permission to bound. I'm so sorry. That was more Gollum, wasn't it?
Here's another hot take. I guess Harry Potter related. I don't remember exactly how it happens, but couldn't he avoided death if he just bounded some more?
Everyone can avoid death if you just bound some more.
Yeah, you could dodge that shit.
Death, depression, taxes. You can avoid anything.
Maybe Voldemort wouldn't have been so bad if he just tried bounding.
Oh, God. If someone out there animates Voldemort Boundin, I will give this short an extra star. I will move it up a ranking.
That'll get views on YouTube.
Oh my gosh. All right. I think that's it for our 4 shorts here. Pretty good stuff. I mean, 2 out of the 4 that we talked about won Academy Awards. So that's a big deal. That was Geri's Game and For the Birds. So that makes a lot of sense to me.
Boundin won an Annie Award, so...
An Annie?
Yeah.
What's that? What's an Annie Award?
It's the animation
It's an award as well.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's the animation award.
Is it bad that I immediately thought of Green Gables? It won an Anne of Green Gables.
The Orphan?
All right. Well, that is our Pixar shorts for this round of Pixar Shorties. We do have other shorts that we'll be talking about next time, and now we're going to be in it. Although some of these I haven't seen still. So next one, we're going to watch a one-man band, Lifted, Presto, and Partly Cloudy. And I've seen 2 of the 4 of this one as well. So excited for that.
Partly Cloudy.
Partly Cloudy.
Does that have a meatball in it? There is one with a meatball.
The one
of Cloudy with a chance of meatballs?
Yeah, but there's also... I can't hear the words like cloudy without thinking of meatballs now.
I don't think that's a Pixar short, but I think you are thinking of Cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
But is there a Pixar short that has a meatball and a little doggy, like a French bulldog?
No, that's Feast, and it's Disney.
Oh, it's Disney.
Feast is good, though.
One of the greatest shorts.
Very cute.
And we have to talk about those at some point. Anyways,
okay.
Doesn't matter. Let's get out of here and let's bound away while we listen to Sam and Laura sing the outro.
Doom, 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 doom.
I don't know how it goes. So I was just. What key are we in today?
Oh, jeez.